It is the first Pool E matchup out here on Court 2 between two teams from the United States. A different kettle of fish out here as we begin this all-USA matchup. Damien Schumann with you here for this match. It's teamb-Schalk and James Shaw in the blue singlets, closest to screen. But Andy Benesh and Partain have been back on the tour since the Olympic Games. Of course, that's a big swing on two as well. Partain needing to take a little bit of time off with those devastating. But good to see him back out here doing what he does best. High and hard off the hands. That's a great block touch and a good transition. Partain sliding in with a controlled one-arm dig and then a little bit lucky with the net clip, just catching Schalk on the back. Partain by far and away the youngest player on court at 23 years of age. And that's a nice block, good play. And of course, the next tournament can be a little bit of a disaster, losing in the qualifier, but well, when you come up against Vitor and Guto, well, there's no too much room to dwell on the past, and they got through that qualifier, but right now they are American Wall. He's only been on the World Tour for 5 seasons, if you can believe that. A little bit of a fake outside in, and teamb-Schalk played a lot of volleyball against each other over the years, of course, and you just have absolutely no idea whether they're going to shoot the ball or hit the ball hard. And that short load, well, works down the line, and always calculating, playing chess. And that is a big feature of what got Partain and Benesh to that Olympic Games berth, and that so well worth going after the serve. Partain with a little fake of his own, starting down the line, comes in, absolutely rips that ball. There's that perfect arm swing. He doesn't really need to hitch his body. All the speed and momentum. Schalk ready to get that dig. And he can't find a way through. It was a pretty good scramble. And Shaw makes sure of it. Somebody who's 6'9". What a serve. And a well-deserved defensive point again. James Shaw, he is so consistent at that speed. Usually people who jump serve the ball that hard, probably almost, it pretty much all comes down to the pass. Oh, and that is some sort of pass. Partain somehow keeping that alive, delivering that to the last meter of the court, right in the corner. That is an extraordinary play. What a dig. The chicken wing, one arm. I don't even know what that was. Well, it caused so many waves in the beach volleyball world in his short career. And Partain faking down the line, running back to the angle. teamb-Schalk speeding up his arm, making sure. There's a must-needed side out for Schalk and Shaw. They can't afford to drop another one. It's a tough serve in the middle, and that'll get the job done for Benesh and Partain to extend that lead to 3, and that will give them a little bit of breathing room. The United States of America now have multiple teams practicing this 2-ball jump-setting offense. And it's great to see players who have been on the tour for such a long time, like teamb-Schalk, been on the World Tour for 14 seasons, well, learning some new tricks. And line block coming up on Benesh. Partain, well, gets away with one, hitting a 2-ball down the middle of the court. Must-win set for the team in blue. They've come through the qualifier. They came off a bronze medal last week in the elite tournament. Really good follow-through on the set from James Shaw as well. He doesn't really take it in as on the World Tour. And on the AVP with the Wilson ball, of course. Just holds in the hands a little bit longer. And that's a huge swing. Much to the delight of Benesh on hands and knees. What a hand set that was. Setting sideways. Let's get another look at that. That is extraordinary. That ball just hovers up there nicely for Schalk. That's a devastating 2-ball hit. Great ball control from Schalk, one of the best at it. Well, one of the best at it, and right back at you. Partain obviously thinks otherwise and elects to do the more traditional one-hand plant and then dive along the sand. It's working for him, and that's, of course, the great thing about beach volleyball. Form of the game. You can really get quite creative with, well, your best attributes. Schalk, he's done his homework. He knew exactly where to stand for that Partain 2-ball. Schalk that time, guessed correctly, but unfortunately couldn't come up with the reward. And what Shaw did really well there was he did it. And right back at you. Shaw and Schalk, well, they've seen the success of the way Benesh and Partain. Real danger signs here for Schalk and Shaw. Desperate for a side out. Fantastic high line. Again, that short offense, just speeding it up. Schalk, even with the advantage of the run-up, unable to push through the wall. That is Benesh. Great vision, good shot. There's been a real adjustment of 14 seasons or so. He's lifting that ball high to try to create that 2-ball pass. Oh, and that is just... I don't think that's a debate for another time as Partain continues where he left off the point before with another 2-ball swing. Oh, that's very well done by Schalk. Good amount of deception. Held off until the last minute, made it look like he was going to absolutely rip that angle, and that just meant usually when people tighten up a little bit, that's when you see the neck clips and a little bit of pace coming off the ball. When he's under stress, that's when Partain goes even harder at it. Speaking of going hard at it, Schalk with a very nice angle swing. The mechanic, the body doesn't need to hitch. He doesn't need to pike to generate any power. It's all coming from that thrown arm. And there's a little bit of luck on the neck clip as well as Benesh just gets up and dunks it down. And Partain very aware of every stage of the arm swing. And even though Partain got a read on that, there is way too much heat. Well, yet another play for the highlight reel for Benesh and Partain. Well, right back at you. Great jump set, free net opportunity. And unfortunately, Schalk made the wrong choice. And often when you are running the 2-ball jump set off, Team USA in white, 3 points away. Shaw does just such a wonderful job of coming in, making it look like he's going to do one thing and then does the other. Partain drifting out. And, well, it's probably the one shot we haven't seen so far from a really similar load position. Once again, the hands of James Shaw, just exquisite, out in front, the direction he wants it to go. So that makes it so easy for Schalk to read where that set's going. And Partain, well, that is a good way to finish it off. A big swing through the hands of the defender. And Andy Benesh and Miles Partain, welcome back to the Volleyball Beach Pro Tour. A dominant performance